Hello, hello! And let's talk about the grade 7 mathematics for the whole year. Talk about are the learning competencies. Each learning competency would be one video from, well, it will depend. Well, there are some competencies that would take up more than one video. Going to some videos, some in the code right here. I'm going to put it also. You don't know how to code. It's check grade level, object content. This one is the quarter in Roman numeral. The lowercase letter is the week, and this is the class. Mathematics 7, number sense, first quarter, week 1. Okay, go on to the first quarter of grade 7. Very first thing that you will ever learn in your high school math is numbers, but sets, subsets, universal set, and the ordinality. Too bad that you'll use this uh 2 years from now. So won't use this until in your probability, your final year in July. Third quarter. It and too bad though. Okay, let's go on. Illustrate the union and intersection. Then we're going to use the Venn diagram. This showcases the union and intersects. And of course, we're going to solve. For solving, we're going to have a new topic. That is the absolute value of a number, the number line as the distance from zero. Form fundamental operations on integers. Operations meaning addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Yes, it's going to illustrate different properties of operation of integer. We're still in this topic about sets, but about of integer. We're going to express rational numbers, arrange those rational numbers, and perform the same operations on your fraction and decimal. We're going to describe the principal roots, learn all about the radicals here. We're going to determine between integers the square root of an. Though it's already an updated subject, a lot of technology, but case it would be nice to know what happened. I mean, what, how to get. I'm going to estimate the square root of a whole number to the hundredth, two decimal places, and we're going to now see rational numbers. First up was integers, rational numbers, then of course we have thing we're going to illustrate, going to arrange all those three, so real numbers, rational numbers in increasing and decreasing order. Going to write numbers in scientific. Usually, the science teacher would teach this. If not, it's so usually we skip this. Hopefully, your math teacher and science teacher are in terms. You don't have to uh, learn this twice. And we're going to represent real life situation, which involve real numbers. Problem. And then we're going to solve problems involving. That's the first quarter. Let's move on to the second. And we're going to illustrate. First, we had what? Number and number sense. Then now we go to Here we go. Illustrate what it means to measure. Describe the development of measurement from primitive to present. Basically, the history of measurements. We're going to approximate length, weight or mass, volume, time, angle, temperature, rate. I might I might differentiate. I might divide some of the length would be a different weight and mass. It depends now where I will use metric. So 22 learning competency would have divided be more than case one. Of course, we're going to solve problems involving conversions, converting English, then we're going to translate English phrases to mathematics. Pretty important in word problems. You're really weak in word problems. After that, we're going to interpret the meaning of this one. Well, integer. Learn this way in the first quarter. Play when you start this. Then we're going to differentiate between constants and variables. Given in a given algebraic, this is where algebra starts. Patterns. Then we're going to evaluate algebraic expressions for given values of the variable. Classifies algebraic expression with polynomials according to degree and terms. Adds and subtract polynomials. So we can be shortened to operation of polynomials. Derive the loss of exponent. I would love to have derived the loss. Also see and but in any case, that's we're going to multiply and divide polynomials. Separate type of loss exponent in well, there's really a reason. Have like 2 weeks of wait 2.5 weeks. No, just 1 week. Be here so that here half. Then we're going to use models of algebraic methods to find out. I'm going to separate this product of two binomials, product of the sum and difference of terms, square of a binomial, and product of a binomial. And actually, students have a hard time here. So might have video for every single. And of course, we're going to solve problems involving algebraic expression. Then we're going to differentiate between algebraic expressions and equations. So new topic, translate English sentences to mathematical sentences and vice versa. It then differentiate between equation and inequality. Usually when you go to higher ones, when we talk about equations, for sure, later on we'll talk about inequality. And inequalities are a bit tricky, but I'll hope about it. I'm going to illustrate linear equation and inequality in one variable. Next year, you're going to learn about two variables. Find the solution of a linear equation or inequality in one variable. So now, equation and inequalities are in one competency. But for next year, it's how complex it gets when you get two variables. For now, we have one variable. Then we're going to solve equations or inequality, one variable involving absolute value by graphing all. In my case, I would rather pick algebraic method because graphing is a hassle. Finally, we're going to solve equations in one. So this basically is introduction in algebra. Maybe a deeper dive in. Now we go on to the third quarter, and we now start with geometry. Favorite among. Now we have a point, line, plane. This is actually terms and illustrate subsets of line, classifies the different angles, and we have a big long paragraph. It did it. Then going to basically learn about its angles, relationships. Going to have polygons and continuity, angles and sides. 49, we derive inductively the relationship exterior and interior angles of a. Basically, it's all about shape and the relationships of the angles and its sides. And here, I have a circle. So, going to learn about the parts of a polygon, then the circle, its parts, and of course, finally, we're going to solve all of it. Always going to solve it at the end of each. Then, now start with the fourth quarter, starts with statistics. Basically, we'll try to convince you the importance of statistics. And we're going to pose problems that can be solved using statistics. We're going to find some problems, try to solve it with formulate simple other statistical data, organize data in a frequency distribution. It's going to use different kind of graphs, pie graph, bar graph, line graph, histogram, and if though there are a lot more, so I'm going to illustrate the measures of central tendency, the one really, really important on statistics. I'm going to take my time here. Give you the in median and mode. Have central tendency of group and group data, individual versus group. Illustrate the measures of variability. Oh, here we go. This one is important. Very important. It takes a lot of students forget about. Going to have several videos. Maybe a lot samples for number 61. Late, of course, appropriate statistical measures. So what are you going to use? Going to interpret the statistics. A lot to give in a grade 7 student, but in case going to draw conclusions from graphic and data, they leave. Great. Congratulations on surviving your first year in high school. Usually the first quarter is the heaviest, and the next one third fourth quarter. Get past the first quarter and breathe, but don't underestimate the second. Give you a hand. In case now